What is going on? Welcome to another edition of Cleanpin, where we talk all the comings and goings, news, rumors, all that sorts in regards to WWE, AEW, Impact, MLW, NWA, Ring of Honor, wrestling news, and we're gonna have some fun here. As always, please hit the like button, subscribe. We do this once a week, as well as throughout the week. We discuss wrestling. We do wrestling videos here as well. The main comment here, the main thing, it's in no particular order, obviously. The main thing that pops up for me here, as far as news and speculation and rumors here, and it all ties in. If you bear with me, and I'll explain exactly what that means. The fact that it all ties in. So the rumor is that Ziggy Dice apparently has been granted his asked and has been granted his NWA release. Outlandish Ziggy Dice, who's actually right now their TV champ. And Ziggy Dice, beat Ricky Starks, actually. Ricky Starks no longer with the company, now with AEW. They're saying that the scuttlebutt there, the rumor, the talk, was that, there was a kind of a meeting with all the talent, and they said anyone that's not happy with who doesn't see the same vision as the management, let them know, and they just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Someone that does not believe in the vision and the plan, has a they were willing to let them go and be on their way. Apparently that is the case with Ziggy Dice. Not necessarily that he didn't like NWA. It's just maybe that he decided to move on. And that's the that's the difference. There's a difference. So either way, all indications seem to point to him not being with the company. To me, and Ziggy Dice was a great character on TV, on NWA. First, I really didn't care for him. Then, it revved up for me. Then I really started getting into liking the character. And what really solidified it for me, in liking that Ziggy Dice character, it's kind of what you've seen when he was, let's say, on Carneyland, for example, right? That kind of really solidified it, where he was really just able to really, in Carneyland, you were really able to show your character, show really who you are. Spitballing, doing it on the fly, I guess, so to speak, as to me, and I've said it before, that NWA seems to have the best guys that are able to talk on the mic, bar none, and Ziggy Dice was one of them. Just really able to kind of, let it rip, let it go. And I was on Carneyland, I was on NWA Power, and NWA Power is not on because of the COVID. And that's, they're the prerogative. They're paraphrasing it, but running a show with no audience, Corgan really didn't feel that it was their product. Now, after Dave Lagana stepped down, they're at least for right now, when I'm making this video, no new production has been put out. As far as Carneyland, nothing's being put out, until they kind of make do correct what, in light of recently what happened. So, here we are. A different time. Told someone about a pandemic. Like, what are you talking about? There's never going to be such a thing about a pandemic. And here we are with a pandemic. I'll bring it to light. Yes, shows like, Carneyland, having a YouTube show or a podcast in its various forms for Eli Drake, for Nick Aldis, since they're not wrestling. It brings out the character, it brings out, people get to know you more. That could translate into, selling more merchandise. When things open up, more people know about you now. You could possibly demand more money on, autograph signing and conventions. Who knows? I'm sure this all contributes to it in the bigger picture. I just wonder, and who am I? I'm just Joe Schmo here. How much longer could NWA continue to be not having their wrestlers wrestle? And I know that they feel that it's studio in front of a crowd, but maybe you have to kind of improvise. Maybe you have to improvise somehow. Maybe you could hold it maybe you could hold it in an outdoor parking lot, and or an outdoor arena, kind of like a drive-through, and have maybe somehow socially distance the audience. Maybe you could have maybe people could stay in their cars. I don't know. And have a wrestling ring in the middle of the ball field. Maybe you could do that. Maybe you could do something. I just wonder, and I worry if that's maybe the reason why talent has decided, like Ziggy Dice, not to partake. Maybe he needs to wrestle. He needs to he needs to be out there, and that's his right and his prerogative. But how much longer could a company survive doing this? And every company, are you at a point where you have to make adjustments? And, being, on YouTube, being on YouTube is, okay, yeah, you are putting your product out there. But at some point, when can you expect a TV deal? At some point, you have to float in that direction and secure a TV deal. You can't, to me, you can't, I don't know. It's going to be hard not to have a TV deal. That's, the money and everything else like that. That's huge. I think that's huge, and I can't speak for Ziggy Dice. I'm not sure if that's maybe the reason why he left. And I say this ties in for me. Let me explain what I mean where it ties in. Stu Bennett recently did an interview, and he's saying that he's wrestling on a full-time basis would be something that would be hard to do. He said that he's approaching 40 years old right now. So, as well as whatever he does, he acts as well. So he does, other things, and that's why wrestling. In fact, he does other things, and that he's approaching 40. That's why wrestling would be full time. Something hard to do, but he acknowledges, he acknowledges AEW in that comment. He acknowledges, Impact Wrestling. I think he even acknowledges MLW, and he even says he's a commentator, NWA. So he acknowledges NWA. Doesn't say, listen, I'm a commentator for NWA, and if I were to wrestle again, it would be for the NWA only. They would be my first place that I would go to, my only place right now. There's no way I'm even considering anyone else if in fact I was wrestling. And Brandon, he branded himself enough to a point where he has all this other opportunity. So it's his right to not wrestle. He doesn't need to wrestle. But why is it though? If he were to come back to wrestling, why wouldn't he be hip hip hurrah? For his home team, the NWA. Why not? Why is it all just kind of... Why is it now that, there's NWA, but there's also all these other guys that are pretty good? Why ain't your home guy, your home team guy, why ain't he hip hip hooray for the organization that he's currently working on? And I think that it all goes back to having a TV deal. TV deal is where you get paid the most, because everyone wants to get paid the most. Now, granted, not everyone could be paid, like a superstar, because some of them have more of, some of them, I'm sure, over-exaggerate their value, so we know that exists. But, a TV deal, you need that, and it's just, then again, it just might be also to a fact of maybe, with this new generation of wrestlers, there's really no loyalty. I mean, and you might say to me, listen, look at other sports. Does anyone have any loyalty to the owners? Do the GMs have any loyalty to players? Do players have any loyalty to a GM or an owner or a team? So, it might be very well the It's just the way the times are now. But I find it weird that a homegrown guy there, a guy that's in your own company, is not even tooting for trying to wrestle with your own company. And I think that's what you need. I think that's what's important. Because if all these guys start jumping around, there's no exclusivity, then what makes it special? What makes that product, that company special? And but that's just my 2 cents on the matter. That's just me anyway. Maria Kanellis revealed on Twitter that the eventual storyline, remember that whole storyline with Maria and Mike. Maria said that she was pregnant, but Mike, saying that Mike is not the father, just kind of belittling Mike, making him feel like a big bag of crap, pretty much. All this, Mike would eventually overcome addiction in a storyline, and he would become a face, and the happy ending. Maria would also, I believe, come back as a face and reveal that he is the father after her maternity leave, and that kind of all went down the wayside there. I mean, listen, and she said that the reason why that storyline was dropped was because it was a little bit too real for the WWE. Now, I don't know, and who am I? Just my belief and my thoughts here. This is maybe just kind of having a little bit of remorse, maybe on the part of Maria and Mike there. If you remember, they had said that they were unhappy, that they asked for a release from WWE. I think they eventually resigned or whatever it was. But they were given the opportunity. They were on TV, so it's not like Mike Kanellis was sitting at home the whole time. Yes, there was a point, but that's after he kind of said that he was unhappy with the WWE. If I'm remembering my timeline here correct, is it too? Was the angle too real for them? I mean, I don't know if it was too real. I mean, look what they're doing with Jeff Hardy now, in that angle. I mean, for goodness sakes, Jeff Hardy threw what was supposed to be in storyline pee at Sheamus. So I mean, how much more real can you get? I mean, that's pretty real to me, ain't it? And that storyline is also about Jeff battling addiction, overcoming addiction. So I don't know how much I take stock in that statement. Maybe now they look at it and maybe they're saying, you know what, that could have been a good storyline. that could have been a storyline I could have excelled in. That could have been a breakthrough storyline for me. I mean, who knows? I mean, they were on TV for a week in, a week out, pretty much. I mean, it's again, it was an angle where you kind of you were uncomfortable at times from Mike Kanellis there. Definitely were uncomfortable. But I think that storyline had potential. It didn't seem like the Kanellises were uncomfortable. Again, I just think that storyline dropped because, if I'm not mistaken, they had, expressed and asked WWE for their release. I believe it was again after Mike had asked for his WWE release after they had signed a contract with WWE. And then when he asked for his release, they kind of dropped the angle and dropped the push. So it's not like he was just sitting at home doing nothing. I mean, and then, eventually both of them get released. So it's like, I asked for my release. Then the pandemic happened. Then I'm not sure if I really wanted to get released. But now I'm released anyway. So I think it's, I don't know, just my 2 cents there. I just think that angle was dropped more in the sense of someone not being exactly happy with the current situation. If you're not happy with your current situation, why should your employer invest the time of you, invest the time in you? Really? I mean, are you going to give it your 100%? If I express my concern and say, I want to leave my current employment for the competition down the block, and then the following day I asked them for a new desktop computer at work, why would they give me the new desktop computer at work if they're going to be like, this kid is just going to leave anyway for the competition down the block? I'll give this new computer to Mitch down the cubicle, who was happy with us. So, I think we gotta put it in perspective, right? I mean, gotta put it in perspective. Lowki was kind of going off on Twitter, kind of made a statement that he feels no need to wear a mask. Well, and then various wrestlers chimed in about Lowki's tweet there. No, that's not in regards to wearing a luchador mask. In regards to wearing a mask for covering your face when you're out in public. Now, everyone is entitled to opinion. Some might say, Lowki's opinion is a little far-fetched. Basically insinuating, Lowki was saying that, people that wear masks are sheep, and he should. So Lowki's entitled to his opinion, but in the same regards too, when you're trying to enter, let's just say, you guys seen that video, which is Casco, right? That video that was going viral. Maybe to put it to you this way, that video that was going viral with the man that went into Casco. He refused to put on the mask, and he was being asked to leave the store. And the guy goes, well, I'm going to broadcast this to all my Instagram followers. You're now famous for not letting me go into Casco. And you've seen that video. He's saying it was his right not to wear a mask. Well, it's your right not to wear a mask. But when you enter private property, like a Casco, for example, and you don't follow their rules on a private property, which is Casco, a private property, then they have the right, Casco, not to serve you. And that is their right and their rules, and that's it. So, I mean, listen, if you're not, whatever you believe or not, you're not exactly Albert Einstein, right? You're not the second coming of a phenomenal scientist. Why don't you just wear the damn mask if in fact it could save at least just one life? It could possibly save just one life. Instead of being so stubborn and just worrying about yourself, why not worry about others as well? Because you, in fact, sir, do not hold all the answers. And even though you may think you do, you, in fact, do not hold all the answers. No one does. No one does. This is part 1 of Cleanpin. I will put up part 2. I will break this episode down into a second part right now. And we'll get into it there as well. Continue some. Got a couple more things that I want to get into real quick, including Fighter Fest, predictions, night 1 predictions, and the whole. So I'll see you in the next video of Cleanpin. Hope all is well. Ciao. Check out video 2.